Hey, good morning, folks. It's Jim bringing your twice a month Real Estate Masterclass. And today we're going to be talking about some great things related to funding your real estate purchase. And one of the most important things to do before you even really get serious about um, purchasing a home is getting a pre approval. So, unless you can dole out some cash for your purchase, which, is a possibility depending on what your situation is, how long you've been buying and selling real estate. If this is your first home, pretty good chance you're going to need a loan of some type. And I just want to talk through the pre-approval process today, and explain a couple things about it, help you understand what to expect and how it's beneficial to you as you get ready to purchase a home. So, why is it needed? Well, it's needed because it really is helpful in a lot of ways to your partner realtor. It's helpful to yourself and understanding really what you're getting into. It actually kind of requires you to get some things in order financially. A lot of times people may find out that their credit score isn't good enough, or maybe their debt is too high, maybe too many car payments or credit card payments, and their debt to income ratio is disproportionate, or that ratio only allows them to buy a certain amount of home that maybe is not enough to meet their needs. So it's really important to take a look at your finances with a lender, with a home lender, so that you can understand what the pre-approval is for you and kind of where you're at. Um, why is it different than a pre-qualification? You might have heard like pre-qualification before, and that's definitely a thing. And really, like to qualify for a loan is some really basic information. A lot of times, your income is simply stated to that lender and not verified, or there's no documentation maybe in a qualification. It's like you put the info in maybe on their website, and you get a letter without them really talking to you and really kind of digging into your specifics about your financing, and that's a pre-qualification. um, and it's really not as strong of an approval. It's obviously not verified, and it's not a bad thing at all, especially if you put in accurate information. But some people, you can actually get pre-qualified for much more than you can afford if you're not completely upfront and honest about the numbers. Or maybe you don't even really have a good picture of the numbers. You have an estimate in your mind, and it's off by somewhat, some significant amount that may make a big difference in what you can actually qualify for. So again, the benefits that to you guys as you're thinking about buying a home is knowing how much you can afford. One of the worst things to do and feel and experience as a home buyer is looking at a home, falling in love with it, and then realizing you can't afford it because you didn't get pre-approved. And it's a emotional thing. I mean, buying a home many times is an emotional process. It's part of where you're going to build your memories. It's part of where you're going to live your life. It's where you're going to eat, sleep. It's where you're going to have all kinds of things go on. And it's a big part of our lives in America, and that's an awesome thing. So it's really disheartening whenever something like that happens, or as a realtor, seeing that happen to someone who didn't get pre-approved. When you're making an offer, so that home seller, they obviously are interested in the price and the terms of the contract. But one thing that's very important to a seller is having some type of confidence that you, the buyer, can actually buy the home. They most likely do not know who you are, never have met you, don't know where you work, don't know how much money you make, don't know how much uh, of anything in your life. So they're completely dependent upon somebody else's approval of their finances to be able to purchase that home. So it's important to get that pre-approval, and it benefits you by making an offer that is a little bit stronger because that seller knows, hey, somebody's already looked at this person's finances and they've given this pre-approval, so they understand that there's a pretty high chance that they can afford this home that they're making an offer on. And then, thirdly, as far as a benefit to you, it's helpful to your realtor partner, but also if you don't have a realtor partner, almost any lender that you talk to that you have a pre-approval with, they will most definitely have contacts with realtors that are trusted and are helpful in the process. So just like you have trusted people that you might recommend or refer to certain things in your life that you work with on a regular basis, all of these lenders that are worth their salt, they have good relationships with high quality professional real estate agents, and they can refer you and find you a good agent if you need help with that. So what's the process? Well, it's to contact a lender. And you're like, well, I don't know any lenders. Well, you can do a number of things. Obviously, a Google search or any kind of search would help bring up, whoever's paying the most for advertising, whoever has the best website, which is good. Those people are serious about their business. They're investing in their advertising. And the benefit for them is that they get to the top of the rankings. Another way to find a good lender is to talk to someone who does business with a lot of lenders, and any realtor that is actively selling real estate, helping people buy homes. Those people will have people that they recommend, lenders that they recommend that they are confident do a really good job in helping folks out. So when you find that person, most everybody now is going to have an online application, and that's the best way to get started. And then from there, they will let you know. So your online process, you might can get pre-qualified without any documentation. But if you want us to take the next step to get that pre-approval, they're going to require some kind of documentation, bank statements, maybe pay stubs, and similar things like that to help them get a better picture of your true financial status. So, there's always some questions that pop up. So let's see here. Can I get pre-approved with less than perfect credit? Short answer, yes. None of us have perfect credit. So credit scores range from way low to way high, and there's approval processes for almost any of those levels. Now, if you get too low, there are some bottoms where you really can't get pre-approved. A common number to think about when it comes to your credit score that might be too low is anything below 580. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's that's kind of a commonly thrown out number that might be too low. So if you are below that, it'd be good to contact that lender and say, hey, where am I? Let's get a true picture of it. And many lenders will have credit repair programs or references to people that they can send you to help you get that set up and fixed as quickly as possible so that you can get pre-approved. But having that less than perfect credit score isn't always something that's going to kick you out. So you're not going to know unless you really dive in and take a look. So I encourage you to do that. How long is a pre-approval valid or a pre-approval letter valid? Well, a reasonable amount of time. It's obviously what's going to happen is you can get pre-approved today, and you may be looking for houses for 3, 4, 6, 8 weeks sometimes. And well, that's a couple of months maybe that's passed by. And, you can still use that 60-day old pre-approval letter. But many times you might can get that refreshed or updated because the more current it is, the better it looks to that seller. And unless your finances have significantly changed in those, in that window, the lender is going to real easily be able to produce an updated pre-approval letter with a more current date on it. And no matter how long you wait, when you find a home and you put a contract in using that pre-approval letter as a negotiating tool, then all the stuff starts again, and all those documentations have to be updated, and they'll even dive in deeper to ensure, because they're about to, give a bunch of money to help you buy this home, and they need assurances that you're going to be able to pay that back. That's the whole credit process. That's the way that works. So the pre-approval is more than the pre-qualification, but the actual loan process is where it gets into all the details. Every question is asked, job verification, et cetera, et cetera. So many different things. So, is there a hard deadline on when that pre-approval expires? I would say no, generally not. But the more current it is, the more attractive it looks to a seller. So anyway, that's our master class for today. Glad you guys could hang out with us. And we will see you next time. We're going to be talking about earnest money. So that's exciting when you're able to get a home under contract, and but you have to put that deposit down. We'll talk about all the details of that coming up in a few weeks on March the 13th.